Good morning, class. We'll continue with the second part of the lecture for chapter 3. Yeah? So far, we already cover on uh, Boolean and also the random integers, the random numbers. Huh? So now we'll continue with the if statements. Okay, so here we're going to cover on types of selections, one-way if statements, if block, and then some examples. Types of selections statements. The preceding program 1 displays the message such as 6 plus 2 is equal to 7 is false. If you wish the message to be 6 plus 2 is equal to 7 is incorrect, you have to use a selection statement to make this minor change. Okay, whether it's a false or true statement, you have to make a selection statement. So we call this as a selection statement. We have few types of selection statement. One way if, two way if else, nested if, multi if, else if, and else statement. And lastly, we have a conditional expression. Okay, let's see for the first one. One way if statement. Okay, one way if statement executes an action if and only if the condition is true. For example, the syntax, if Boolean expression, okay, then come out with the statement. The flowchart to the right, okay, this is the flowchart, demonstrate the syntax of the if statement. Okay, you have a condition here. This one is the condition part, okay, condition. If this condition is true, then it will go for the statement execution. If this condition is false, then it will go for the output. Okay, example, light on is it equal to true. If light on, print equal to, print light on. Okay, this is a single way, like one way. Also, the following syntax is valid for one way if statement with one statement. Okay, if Boolean expression statement, for example, we have light on is equal to true. If light on, print light on. If light on equal, okay, false, print light off. Okay, this one also is accepted. It's which is equivalent to this one. Okay, both are same, but only the writing way is slightly different. Okay, remember when it's come to a flow chart, it's a diagram that describes an algorithm or process showing the steps as boxes of various kinds and their order by connecting these with arrows. Okay, I think during the first chapter, I have covered how to draw the basic flow chart, right? With the start, input, process, output, and the end of the process. Okay, so process operations are represented in these boxes and arrows connected to them to show flow of control. So usually, this one is known as process, okay, square bracket or rectangle. This one is the condition, okay. Condition will be diamond box, okay. Let's go with if block. If the Boolean expression evaluates to true, the statement in the if block are executed. If the if block contains the statement intended after the if statement, let's see. If radius is greater than 0, area is equal to radius times mat dot pi. Print the areas of circle, and this one is your output. And this is your process, and this will be the input value. If the value of radius is greater than or equal to 0, then the area will be computed, or else it's not computed. Okay, so you can see if when you have a if, this is considered the condition, so it's applied under the diamond shape, and your process is written over here, process, and also the statement output. Note, The statements in the if block must be indented in the lines after the if line, and each statement must be indented using the same number of spaces. Okay, for example, the following code is wrong because the print statement in line 3 is not intended using the same number of spaces as the statement for computing area in line number 2. You see, yeah? So even a small space also makes sense in coding Python. Okay, so make sure that you follow the same intended for the statement and also the process. So you can see, so if statement, the print should be go inside. Okay, you can see it's go inside. There shouldn't be any space over here. Okay, because the print is already comes together with the if line here. Okay, this one. So that's why there's no space. If so, this space is shouldn't be there, and then this one there is a space there. Okay, yellow color. So this one also is not shouldn't be there. It's missing of colon symbol. Okay, let's go with program 2. Write a program that prompts user to enter an integer. If the number is multiple of 5, the program displays the I5. If the number is divisible by 2, the program display I even. Okay, there will be two output. One is I5, sorry, and the other one is I even. So let's see. Design your algorithm. So first of all, from the user to enter number. Okay, if the first case it is a multiple of 5, then it will be printing I5. If it is divisible by 2, then it will be printed as I even. Okay, let's see. Enter number equal to evaluate input and enter an integer from user side. If the number divisible by 5 equal to 0, print I5. Okay, the algorithm that we created here is converted as coding. Okay, here they converted as coding. If number, okay, if the number that you enter is divisible by 2, which is giving you 0 remainder, so print I even. So for example, when you enter 4, 4 is divisible by 2, so you'll get I even. When you enter 15, it will go for the first condition, which is divisible by 5. It will give you 0 remainder. You'll get I5. So if you enter 30, 30 is divisible by 5. 6 times 5 is 30. And 15 times 2 also 30. So both answer is applicable. So that's why it's printed I5 and I even. Okay, I hope you guys got the meaning of one way if statement. So write an if statement that assign 1 to x. Okay, so x equal to 1 if y is greater than 0. So your condition is this one and your value is this. If y is greater than 0, x equal to 1. Write an if statement that increases pay by 3% if the score is greater. Okay, this is your condition. If the score is greater than 90, increase your payment. So pay equal to pay plus pay times 3 divided by 100. Or you can write pay times 0.003. Okay. Next, we'll continue with the two-way if-else statement. Two-way if-else statement. A one-way if-else statement takes an action if the specified condition is true. If the condition is false, nothing's done. Okay, it only gives you output if the condition is true. If false means nothing is done. Remember this. But what if you take one or more alternative action when the condition is false? Uh, okay. So when you have, if you want to take one or more alternative actions, when your condition is false, what are you going to do? So this one, you can create two-way if-else statement. So you can differ them based on the condition. The first condition can be true, second condition can be false. So this is known as if-else statement. If-else statement. Okay. The syntax for if-else statements. So for true, we have one statement. For false, we have one more statement. Okay. For the previous example, one way, if you see, they have one part only. So if true means it got statement, but for false means directly and nothing. Okay, nothing will show up there. Okay, so if Boolean expression statement for the true case, else we come out with the false statement. Okay, that is the syntax. If the Boolean expression evaluate true, the statements for the true case are executed, else the statements for the false case are executed. For example, let's consider if, okay, the first part, if radius is greater than 0, area, okay, this is a calculation, okay, process and print the output. Else, if you enter, okay, any value other than 0, okay, which which is value which is less than 0, okay, you don't have to write the condition which is less than 0. No, you don't have to mention that. Okay, as you mentioned, the condition here once is enough. In this case, you just write else colon double dot is enough. Print negative input. Done. Two-way if else statement. Another example, this one determines whether a number is even number or odd number. Even number means the number is divisible by 2, you will get remainder 0. Print as even number. Else, this one, you don't have to write any conditions. If number, else number divisible by 3 or odd numbers, I mean, you get the remainder 1 or something. It is odd number. No, you don't have to mention the condition. You just directly write else double dot is enough. If you have a multiple conditions, more than two conditions, three conditions, then you have to use another method called if, and else statement. Okay. The following syntax will cover that later. The following syntax is valid for two-way if else statement with one statement for the true case and one statement for the false case. Okay, so we have one for true case, one for false case. Example, we have enter a value. If divisible by 2, then it prints even number. Else it print odd numbers. Okay, either you can write on top here or you can just enter from here to the next line. Okay, and make sure the intended is correct. Improve math learning tool program. Okay, write a program that helps first grader practice subtraction. The program should randomly generate two single digits number one and number two, which is number one greater or equal to number two, should then ask the user for the answer. Okay, the program will then display a message stating that the answer is correct. If wrong, it produces a display. So there must be two statement of output. One is if the answer is correct, if the answer is wrong. Okay. So design your algorithm. First of all, we try to generate two numbers, number one, number two. Okay. So first we check number one is less than number two. Swap number one with number two. Example, number one equal to 2, number 2 is equal to 6. Ask the user to answer the question, what is 6 minus 2? Print whether the answer is true or false. If the answer is false, print the correct answer. Okay, so let's see. This is a bit longer coding part. So import random because we're going to use the random function or method. Okay. Generate two random single digits. Since it's a single digit, so we can use from 0 to 9. Okay, number one, number two. Okay, here the indented is slightly, not aligned properly. Okay, just ignore it. It should be here. It should be start from here. Number 2 is equal to random dot ran integer 09. Okay, the value can be any value. Lah. Number 2, okay, line number 7. If number 1 less than number 2, number 1 comma number 2 equal to number 2 comma number 1. So this is a simultaneous assignment. Prompt the student to answer what is number 1 minus number 2. Okay, so as a user, we need to key in the value because there is an input statement. Next, if number 1 minus number 2 is equal to answer, okay, this answer, then print you are correct, or else your answer is wrong. So it will show you the correct answer. Okay, it shows you the correct answer. For example, 9 minus 2 is 5. That user enter 5. Your answer is wrong. 9 minus 2 is 7. So this is how your output is look like. Okay, this is your output. I hope you guys got it. We continue the next one. Okay, checkpoint 6. Write if statement that increases pay by 3% if the score is greater than 90. And there is a second case, increases by otherwise. Okay, increases by 1%. So if the score is greater than 90, it increased 3%. Others, so else, it increased only 1%. Okay, what is the printout of the code in A and B? If number 30 and 35 respectively, number is 30 and 35. So here, for example, when you enter 30, 30 divided by 2, remainder is 0, is even number, correct? Okay, when you enter 35, it will be odd number. And then you see the difference, huh? So when you don't have the else statement, okay, it prints the odd number also. Okay, 30 is considered as odd number. So when it's come to if number 30 divisible by 2 and 35 is divisible by 2, okay, one you'll get even number, one you'll get odd number. So this one is the correct part of the code. So this is how you're supposed to use the if else statement, if and else statement. Okay, so that's all for this lecture 2. So next lecture will cover lecture part 3. We'll be covering on if, else if, and else statement. Okay, thank you class.